Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome level D in your week 2. This week we are going to focus on similes and metaphors, which are the type of figurative language. What are we learning today? We are going to determine the meaning of the words and phrases as they're used in a text, including the figurative language. Now, the first question that arises is, what is a figurative language? Now, figurative language is actually a word or a phrase that does not have its normal, everyday, literal, real meaning. It is used by the writers or even the poets for the sake of comparing two things. Or in other words, you can say to give it a dramatic effect. Especially authors, they use the figurative language to emphasize on something, or maybe to give the readers a more image of how something looks like. Now, the different types of figurative language could be similes, metaphors, hyperbole, and personification, which actually helps to make the stories more interesting as well. Now, here it says that figurative language is a way of using words to compare something to something else beyond the literal meaning. Figurative language is used for emphasis and impact as well. Like I said before, when you're comparing two things, you use the language to help the reader better understand what it actually means. And most importantly, you have to emphasize and give an impact in your writing. Let's look at some of the examples. I've told you a million times to clean your room. At times, our mothers might tell us to clean our room, and they usually say the sentence, I told you a million times to clean your room. Now, figuratively, it says a million times, but literally, they don't actually say it a million times. They might have said like 10 or maybe 20 times to clean your room. If you're one of those who don't listen, that could happen to you. But figuratively, they say it to emphasize and give an impact of how important is it for them and why is it important for you to clean your room. The next example is, she ran as fast as lightning. Now, for a lightning to strike the earth from the sky to the earth, this is a very long distance. But somebody cannot run as fast as lightning for real in a literal meaning. But to give an emphasis and to give an impact of how fast someone was running, we use a statement that says, or compare it to lightning. Another example is, his team was on top of the world after winning the championship game. Now, you can't be actually standing on the top of the world just like that. It is just to show that how happy or excited somebody is after they have won a match. We've understood that what is a figurative language, but now we need to understand why do we use this figurative language. Now, sometimes when we want to make our writing more interesting to the reader and to give a mental image of our meaning, we use this figurative language. Let's look at an example. Now, there's a statement, we are alike, and another one is, we are two peas in a pot. Now, which one is more interesting? Just to say, yeah, we're okay, we're alike, we're same, but just to compare it, that we are two peas in a pod, it means like how similar, how same, maybe like two peas in a pod could be same in size, same in color. So this is how to show the comparison that two people can be similar. There are many different types of figurative languages like similes, metaphors, hyperboles, personifications, etc. But we are going to focus on similes and metaphors. How are they similar and how are they different? Well, both similes and metaphors are used to compare two things, but the difference is that similes compare two things by using the words like or as. If you find a sentence that has the word like or as, it is probably a simile. Let's look at an example. Your eyes sparkle like diamonds. Now, the eyes and the diamonds are being compared, but they are using the word like in between. Why are they comparing it? Just to show that how sparkly the eyes are. Sometimes you're feeling low, sometimes you're feeling sad. Our eyes do not sparkle like diamonds. Those are sad eyes, but this is mainly because you're happy or you're excited. Another example, the classroom looked like a tornado had gone through. Now, the classroom is being compared to a tornado. Like when tornado strikes something, it creates a lot of mess. So maybe the children left the classroom and did not clean it up. So it looks like a tornado has gone through it. So this is how you are comparing two things to show an impact, to emphasize that how much the classroom might have been a mess there. Remember, when we have a simile, it will include the words like or as. Let's look at some of the examples. He slept like a log. Now, what does that mean? Like somebody is sleeping like a log. Has he actually become a log? Well, it means that he is sleeping fast asleep. He is so fast asleep that he doesn't know what is happening around him. He's so still. She ate like a bird. Now, how could you eat like a bird? It means that you ate so little like the bird eats. And she was as busy as a bee. He was as cunning as a fox. Now the words are used as and like in these statements are telling you that they are similes. Let's look at what are metaphors. Again, metaphors are used to compare one thing to another, but they do not use the words like or as. Sometimes the sentences like or phrases, laughter is music for the soul. Here, laughter is compared to music, and the word is used over here. If it's a singular word, you probably might use is, but if it's plural, you'll have to use are over here. Exception cases are where you have you, like you are my sunshine. So you, after you don't use is. You is my sunshine. You have to use you are my sunshine. Another example, those ideas are food for thought. Now, to ideas are being compared to thoughts. Now, this is not singular; it's more than one. So therefore, you have are after it and not is. Now, remember, metaphors say one thing is another. You can say it's equal to something. Let's look at some examples. I am feeling blue. Now, it's not like you have turned blue. But what it actually means is that you are feeling sad, and this is how you're feeling. You're feeling blue. Of the another example, my dad is a teddy bear. Now, your dad is not actually a teddy bear, but it's possible that he is very cuddly or he's soft, and that's why you're comparing him to a teddy bear. Now, the house was a zoo. It's not like the real animals came inside the house, but it's just showing that how the house probably looks like. Maybe there are all animals around, so it has become a mess again. The stars are sky diamonds. It's not like actual diamonds are in the sky, but the way they are sparkling or shining, this is the comparison. The stars are sky diamonds. Now here is a video that I would want you to watch. Once it's uploaded on Google Classroom, you can watch it over there, and it will give you further explanation of so it will help you to better understand what are metaphors or similes. Now remember, you need to look at the clue words in a sentence to help you figure out if it is a metaphor or a simile. Similes will have the words like or as, whereas metaphor will have is, are, or was in it. If it's a past tense, it will have was. If it is more than one, if it's a plural, it will have are. But if it's a singular, it will have is in it. Now, this is your assignment. You have to read the sentences and then figure out which one of these is a metaphor or a simile. For example, let's look at one. The house was a zoo. We have looked at it before. Since it has the clue word was, so it will be a metaphor. Now, let's look at this one. Peter is an angel. Now again, it has the word is in it, so it will be a metaphor. The car moved like a snail. So it is basically comparing the car to a snail and how slow it is moving. Now, but it has the word like in it, it will be a simile. Now, in the classroom, we are going to have a quiz. You will have to identify if the type, if the sentence is simile or a metaphor. But let's do two of the examples over here, and then the rest of them we will do in the classroom. His heart was broken. His heart was broken. Now it has the word was in it, so it is probably going to be a metaphor. Another example, your name sounds like music to my ears. Now this one does not, this one has the word like in it, so it is now a simile. Okay, so moving on, here's your assignment. You need to go to the Google Classroom and you have to do the task on IXL. There are 3 different tasks that you will have to finish. They're very easy, they're very simple. And once you're done, let me know. If you have any questions or queries, you can send me a message on Google Classroom. Thank you. Have a nice day.